All right, friends, for today's lesson, we are going to be reading from the FOSS Science Stories booklet. It's this booklet here on water, and we are looking at evaporation and condensation. And friends, this is on page 13. Okay, so please turn to page 13. Okay, so let's take a look at our passage, and then we'll look inside of our water booklet. Evaporation and condensation. Sometimes water seems mysterious. Wipe a chalkboard with a wet sponge and the water left behind quickly vanishes. Take a hot shower and water appears on the mirror out of thin air. How do these things happen? Water is always changing from one state to another. When you wipe a chalkboard, liquid water left behind escapes into the air, becoming water vapor. The same thing happens to water splashed onto a counter. Left alone, it soon disappears. We call this change from a liquid to a gas evaporation. Evaporation happens around you every day. Sometimes you depend on it. Evaporation dries your clothes after you come out of the rain. When you take a hot shower, some water changes into water vapor. But when it touches a mirror's cool surface, the vapor turns back into liquid water. When water vapor becomes liquid water, this change is called condensation. Condensation is the reason a cold drink sweats. The air and the water vapor in the air are warmer than a cold drink. Water vapor from the air hits the cool glass, which cools the vapor and turns it into liquid water. The water collects on the outside of the glass. Did you ever wonder why you can see your breath on a cold day? Condensation, too. Cold air cools the water vapor in your breath. The cloud you see is made of tiny water droplets. And this is a picture of condensation on a window. All right, so now, friends, you are going to turn in your water booklet to page 51. Okay, page 51 in your water booklet. We're going to use our passage to help us figure out the answers. All right, so let's take a look at the very first question here. Water is always blank from one state to another. Water is always changing from one state to another. Changing. Number 2, what is the change called when water changes from a liquid to a gas? We call this change from a liquid to a gas evaporation. When water vapor becomes liquid water, it is called, when water vapor becomes liquid water, this change is called condensation. Condensation is the reason a cold drink sweats. The air and the blank in the blank are blank than the cold drink. There it is. The air and the water vapor in the air are warmer than the cold drink. Okay, number 6. Explain how condensation forms on a glass of cold water. And this, my friend, is going to be a you-do question, as well as the problem below, the question below, which also says, why can you see your breath on a cold day? Another you-do question. And all you have to do is go back into the passage, and the passage will help guide your response to questions 6 and 7. Okay, if you have any questions, ask your teacher. When you're finished with your work, please do turn it in. See you next time.